Hey guys, what's up? It's Awesome Sports 13 here, and today I'm on a call with Riley McCord, Monster Jam Dallas, and Curry Gaming.
Hello. Yo, what up?
And I am here with sign-up series number 51, the third ever Hot Wheels Monster Trucks edition. So if you guys do not know what truck you are in, make sure you go watch the Field of Trucks video, as I did put up one. This sign-up series, just simply because of how big it was. But as you guys can tell, we will kick this series off with Megarex taking on Mr. Krabs as we go along here. I've pretty much already showed you guys all the races already, but double checking to make sure. And we'll end off round number 1 with the debuting Monster Vet and the Rusty Bigfoot. So let's go ahead and kick this sign-up series off with a bang. It is the debuting Megarex from the singles packs, taking on Mr. Krabs. My first series in 4 months is underway. The first winner will be Mr. Krabs, taking the win over Megarex. Next up is Thanos, taking on the debuting Totaled. And Totaled will get a debuting win over Thanos. Next up is Bone Shaker, taking on Hot Wheels Safari. And this is close, but Hot Wheels Safari will take the win over Bone Shaker. Next up is the debuting Wheel Cool Will Trash It All, taking on the Camaro SS. And this is close, but the Camaro did hit the line first, and he'll take the win over the Wheel Cool Will Trash It All. Next up is the debuting Godzilla, taking on Night Shifter. And Night Shifter will take the win over Godzilla. Next up is the debuting Crush Delivery, taking on Hotweiler. And Hotweiler will take the win over Crush Delivery. Next up is the debuting Gold Tiger Shark, taking on the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And the Gold Tiger Shark with a successful debut win over the Wiener. Next up is the debuting Piranha, taking on Darth Vader. And Piranha with a speedy win over Darth Vader. Next up is the very funny debuting Flintmobile, taking on Plankton. And Plankton will take down the Flintmobile. Next up is SpongeBob, taking on the debuting Wild Wrecker. He has a big lead, and he will keep it, taking the win over SpongeBob. Next up is the Scratch Attack Megarex, as I'm going to start calling it, taking on the Skinny Treads Volkswagen Beetle. And Megarex will take the win over Volkswagen. Next up is Midwest Madness, taking on the debuting Red and Black Gotta Dump. And this is really close. Let's see who took it. And as you guys can tell, going down the line, it will be the Red and Black Midwest, or not Midwest Madness, Gotta Dump, taking the win over Midwest Madness. Next up is Hot Wheels Delivery, taking on the debuting Gold Race Ace. And this is another good race. Let's see who took this one. And I think Curry is right, as the Gold Race Ace will have a successful debut win over Hot Wheels Delivery. Next up is Sriracha, taking on All Beefed Up. And Sriracha will take the win over All Beefed Up. Next up is Scratch Attack, taking on All Fried Up. And All Fried Up will take the win over Scratch Attack. Next up is Radical Racer, taking on Scorpedo. And wow, this is really close. That final push from Radical Racer may have gotten him the win. Let's see though. And it did. Unbelievable. As you guys can tell at the top of your screen, what a comeback from Radical Racer to take down the Scorpion. Next up is the debuting Hightail Hauler, taking on Steer Clear. Steer Clear with a huge lead, and he'll lose it. Unbelievable. As Hightail Hauler 1956 will take the win over Steer Clear. Next up is Zerg, taking on the debuting 2024 design Duck and Roll. Zerg with a huge lead, and he will keep it, taking the win over Duck and Roll, I believe. Let's double check, and it indeed is Zerg. Alright guys, we're about to see a terrible race as a three-wheel truck will take on one of the fastest Hot Wheels monster trucks I own, 32 Degrees, as Try to Crush Me makes his debut. Let's see how he does. Not very good. 32 Degrees takes the win. Next up is Melon Mauler taking on Bigfoot 10. And Melon Mauler will take the win over Bigfoot 10. Next up is Squidward taking on the debuting Hot Wheels Pizza Company. And the Hot Wheels Pizza Company with a win over Squidward. Next up is the debuting Stormtrooper taking on Operation Stomp. And close race, but Operation Stomp will edge out the Stormtrooper. Next up is the debuting Camo Crashers Motosaurus taking on Batitude. And Batitude will take the win over Motosaurus Camo Crashers. Next up is the Volkswagen Drag Bus taking on Myers Manx. It's debuting, by the way. Myers Manx with a huge lead. He'll lose it, I think, to the Volkswagen Drag Bus. Volkswagen. Next up is El Superfasto taking on Leonardo. And Leonardo puts El Superfasto in the dust. Next up is Buns of Steel taking on the Dodge Ram van. And this is close. Wow, really close. And as you guys can tell, going down from the aerial view, at the top of your screen, the Dodge Ram van will hang on and take the win over Buns of Steel. What a race. Next up is the debuting Camo Crashers Megarex taking on Hissy Fit. And unbelievable. Really good races so far here in the first round. And it will be Hissy Fit taking the win over the Camo Crashers Megarex. Next up is the Back to the Basics Night Shifter taking on the Mandalorian. And the Mandalorian with a comeback win over the Night Shifter Back to the Basics. Next up is Hound Hauler taking on the debuting Mercedes Unimog. And the Unimog with a successful debut win over Hound Hauler. Next up is Iron Man taking on Samson. And Samson will hit the line first and take the win. Next up is the Black Snakebite taking on Monster Portions. And Monster Portions will hang on and take the win. Next up is Wild Streak taking on Buzz. And Wild Streak will take the win over Buzz Lightyear. Next up is the Gold 5 Alarm taking on Race Ace. And Race Ace, what a win. He will take the win over the Gold 5 Alarm. I'm pretty sure the Gold 5 Alarm didn't even hit the line. And as you can tell, he did not. Race Ace will take the win. Next up is the debuting Trick Flow Bigfoot taking on Carbinator XXL. And Carbinator will take the win over Bigfoot Trick Flow. Next up is One Bad Ghoul taking on Raphael. And this is really close, but as you guys can tell on the computer, that One Bad Ghoul will take the win over Raphael. That is a very bad reference, so I will not be lazy. And One Bad Ghoul will take the win. Next up is Town Hauler taking on Patrick. Patrick with a huge lead. Oh my goodness, I think he might have lost it. That is an embarrassing loss from Patrick as Town Hauler comes all the way back to beat Patrick. Next up is Haul taking on Roger Dodger. And close race, but Haul will take the win over Roger Dodger. Next up is 5 Alarm taking on the debuting Crate Danger. I think he's debuting. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he is, actually. I take back that. And Crate Danger, I believe, will take the win over 5 Alarm. Next up is the Red Snakebite taking on the Purple Samson. And Samson will take the win over Snakebite. And the final race of round number 1 will feature the debuting Monster Vet taking on the Rusty Bigfoot. And this is close, but Bigfoot Rusty will take the win over Monster Vet. All right, you guys, I am here with round number 2, and let's go racing. We're going to kick things off with Mr. Krabs taking on Totaled. And Mr. Krabs will take the win over Totaled. Next up is Hot Wheels Safari taking on the Camaro SS. And close, but I believe it is the Hot Wheels Safari. And it is taking the win over the Camaro SS. Next up is Night Shifter taking on Hotweiler. And Night Shifter, I think, let me see here. I believe it is Night Shifter. And as you guys can tell at the top of your screen, it is Night Shifter taking the win over Hotweiler. Next up is the Gold Tiger Shark taking on Piranha. And Piranha will hit the line first and take the win. Next up is Plankton taking on Wild Wrecker. And Wild Wrecker will take the win over Plankton. Next up is Megarex taking on the Red and Black Gotta Dump. And Megarex will take the win over Gotta Dump. Next up is the Gold Race Ace taking on Sriracha. And Sriracha will take the win over the Gold Race Ace. Next up is All Fried Up taking on Radical Racer. Or I think that's what it's called. And close. I think that's another comeback win for Radical Racer. And it is taking the win over All Fried Up. Next up is Hightail Hauler taking on Zerg. And Hightail Hauler will take the win over Zerg. Next up is 32 Degrees taking on Melon Mauler. And Melon Mauler will hit the line first. If you guys want to look back at the replay, you can. But he did hit the line first. He will take the win over 32 Degrees. What a race. Next up is Hot Wheels Pizza Company taking on Operation Stomp. And Hot Wheels Pizza Company with a bunch of somersaults to take the win. Next up is Batitude taking on the Volkswagen Drag Bus. And Batitude will take the win over the Volkswagen Drag Bus. Next up is Leonardo taking on the Dodge Ram Van. And Leonardo will take the win over the Dodge Ram Van. Next up is Hissy Fit taking on the Mandalorian. And Hissy Fit will take the win over the Mandalorian. What a race. Next up is the Mercedes Unimog taking on Samson. And what a race. Really close. And it will be Samson taking the win over the Mercedes Unimog. Next up is Monster Portions taking on Wild Streak. And wow, what a race. This is close. But it will be, as you guys can tell at the top of your screen, Monster Portions will barely take the win over Wild Streak. Next up is Race Ace taking on Carbinator XXL. And Carbinator will take the win over Race Ace. Next up is One Bad Ghoul taking on Town Hauler. One Bad Ghoul with a huge lead. Oh my goodness, he might have lost the lead. And he did. 2 disappointing matches against Town Hauler as he will take the win over One Bad Ghoul. Next up is Haul Y'all taking on Crate Danger. And Crate Danger will hit the line first and he'll take the win. You can even look back at the replay. But Crate Danger did take the win and he will move on. And the final race of round number 2 will feature the Purple Samson taking on Rusty Bigfoot. And Rusty Bigfoot will take the win over Purple Samson. Alright, you guys. I am here with round number 3. And let's go racing. We're going to kick things off with Mr. Krabs taking on Hot Wheels Safari. And Mr. Krabs will take the win over Hot Wheels Safari.
Money, 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 money.
Next up is Night Shifter taking on Piranha. And Night Shifter will upset Piranha. Next up is Wild Wrecker taking on Megarex. And Megarex will take the win over Wild Wrecker. Next up is Sriracha taking on Radical Racer. And Sriracha will take the win over Radical Racer. Next up is Hightail Hauler taking on Melon Mauler. And what a race. But it will be Melon Mahler taking the win. As you guys can tell at the top of your screen, Melon Mahler will take the win over Hightail Hauler. Next up is Hot Wheels Pizza Company taking on Batitude. And Batitude will upset Hot Wheels Pizza Company. Next up is Leonardo taking on Hissy Fit. And Leonardo will take the win over Hissy Fit. Next up is Samson taking on Monster Portions. And what a race, but Samson will take the win over Monster Portions. Next up is Carbonator XXL taking on Town Hauler. Carbonator will finally beat Town Hauler, and he will move on to the final 10. And the final race of round 3 will feature Crate Danger and the Rusty Bigfoot. And the Rusty Bigfoot will take the win over Crate Danger. Alright, you guys, as you guys can tell, there are a total of 10 trucks here in the quarterfinals. Now, there will be a fast loser in this round because 10 trucks goes down to 5. So the 2 trucks with the best run will have a shot at the fast loser, and whoever wins that will come back. And after that, there will be 6 trucks. Obviously, 6 trucks will go down to 3, and the 2 trucks with the best run in that round will have a chance at the fast loser, and the winner of that fast loser round will come back as the final truck in the semifinals, and that will give us our semifinals. Just so you guys know, I've explained that a lot of times, but I figure I explain it again just to keep the tradition alive. So here we go. We are going to kick it off with Mr. Krabs and Night Shifter. And who is going to the quarterfinals? And Night Shifter will beat Mr. Krabs. Next up is Megarex taking on Sriracha. And Megarex will beat Sriracha. Next up is Melon Mahler taking on Batitude. And Melon Mahler will beat Batitude. Next up is Leonardo taking on Samson. And what a race, but Samson will take the win over Leonardo. And the final race before the quarterfinals will feature Carbonator XXL taking on the Rusty Bigfoot. And Carbonator XXL blows away the Rusty Bigfoot. Alright, you guys, and here's our quarterfinals, and I did look back at the replay to see who had the best run between 2 trucks. And here they are. These are the 2 trucks, in my opinion, that had the best run, Sriracha and Mr. Krabs. So, who will we see come back as the fast loser and move on to the quarterfinals? And it will be Mr. Krabs! Alright, you guys, and here is our quarterfinals of sign-up series number 51. But as you guys can tell, 6 trucks will go down to 3, so the 2 trucks that have the best runs in this quarterfinals will have a shot at coming back as the fast loser, and whoever wins the fast loser race will come back as the opponent in the semifinals. So, let's get this round underway and see who advances to the semifinals. Will it be Night Shifter or Megarex? And Night Shifter will advance to the semifinals. And who will meet Night Shifter in the semis? Melon Mahler or Samson? Samson with a big lead, and he will lose it as he loses to Melon Mahler. And the final race of the quarterfinals will feature Carbonator XXL and Mr. Krabs. And Mr. Krabs will take down Carbonator.
Money.
Alright, you guys, so here is our semifinals of sign-up series number 51. I did look back at all the replays to see which 2 trucks had the best run. And here they are. Samson and Megarex had the best runs. And who will win this race and come back as the fast loser to face Mr. Krabs in the semifinals? Samson or Megarex? Who will it be? And it will be a very close race. Really close. Wow. Oh my goodness. And as you guys can tell at the top of your screen, Samson will take the win over Megarex. Alright, you guys, and here is our semifinals for sign-up series number 51, the third ever Hot Wheels Monster Trucks edition. So, inside of Night Shifter, we have Shock Shooter. Inside of Melon Mauler, we have Monster Jam Top Dog. Inside of Mr. Krabs is Joseph Nelson. And inside of Samson is Kenny D. So, which out of these four competitors is going to win this sign-up series? We will find out right now. Night Shifter or Melon Mauler? And who is going to the championship race? Shock Shooter or Monster Jam Top Dog? It will be Monster Jam Top Dog, and Melon Mauler is moving on to the championship race. And who will face Monster Jam Top Dog in the championship race? Will it be Joseph Nelson and Mr. Krabs, or Kenny D and Samson? We will find out right now. And it will be Kenny D and Samson getting the win over Mr. Krabs. And here is our championship race of sign-up series number 51, the third ever Hot Wheels Monster Trucks edition. Inside of Melon Mauler, we have Monster Jam Top Dog. I'm not too sure if he's won before on my channel. He may or may not be looking for his first win here. And inside of Samson, we have Kenny D. I know for a fact Kenny D has never won before, and this variant of Samson has never won before. So here we go, and the winner of Monster Jam Sign-Up Series 51, the third ever Hot Wheels Monster Trucks edition, is going to be none other than Kenny D in Samson. Kenny D, congratulations on getting your first ever win on my channel in Samson. The blue Samson is now a one-time champion along with the purple Samson, as both variants of Samsons are now champions on my channel. And for Monster Jam Top Dog, I am so sorry, as you had one of the fastest trucks here inside of Melon Mauler. Congratulations to you on getting so far in this series, but better luck next time in sign-up series number 52. So with that being said, once again, quick congratulations to Kenny D and Samson, and I will see you guys in the next video.